Good morning.
My name is Eliza Higgins, and I am reporting for the Nebraska Women's Fellowship News. Today, my guests are Mary and Martha, who recently had a very special guest in their home. Mary and Martha, come on out.
Hello, everyone. What's she doing? She's still clean. I know that's right.
Thank you, and we're pleased to be here.
Thank you. And your name is Eliza? Is that some weird combination of Elijah and Elijah? Are you their sister?
Well, seeming as if they weren't brothers.
And the fact that Elijah and Elisha were living hundreds of years ago.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
So, anyway, you two recently had a very special guest at your house, Jesus of Nazareth. Tell me about that.
It was so wonderful.
Oh, exhausting.
It was wonderful.
In what way?
Well, you know, the house had to be perfect, and the food, and the fellowship, and everything had to...
Why did it have to be perfect?
Because it was Jesus. He's perfect.
Because Jesus is perfect. We know he's perfect, but he didn't care about any of those things. We just wanted to listen to what he had to say. But you just had to be all stressed out and moving around and walking around.
I did not.
Ask her what she does when she gets stressed out in her private time.
I'm not sure I want to know.
Well, sometimes just a little bit overwhelming with all the housekeeping and the other family members are here and I can't escape it. So I flip my apron over my head and I kneel on my knees and I get in my prayer position and I have my little private time.
You what?
Well, let me show you. See, I take my apron and I flip it over my head like this. And I have my little private time.
That's fascinating. So, let's move on. Tell me about your visit with Jesus.
Well, when Jesus came, I had the wonderful opportunity of escorting him into the bench, and I just sat at his feet.
Leaving me alone to do all the work. Lucky me, though. With my super apron powers, I was able, with my apron, well, actually. Really. When I put my apron on, I feel like I can accomplish anything. I feel like I can clean, I can cook, I can decorate, I can do anything. But even that wasn't enough. I mean, this was Jesus. This is Jesus I'm talking about.
So you know what she did? She threw her apron at me, and she begged me to help her.
I admit, I was a little mad. I said, Jesus, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all this work? Tell her to help me.
And what did Jesus say?
He said, Martha, you are worried about many things, but Mary has chosen the better thing, and it will not be taken away from her.
And you know what she did next? Martha stomped off huffing and puffing and went back to working.
Now, Mary, you know I just couldn't leave our house like that. I had the food to prepare, the dishes to clean, the favorite plates to make. You mean I couldn't just let Jesus think that I was a poor host? You're lucky I didn't tie that apron around your neck and... Now. Oh, yes. Where was I? Well, I did go back and finish making and preparing, and I admit I was a little preoccupied, and maybe Maybe just a little stressed out.
A bit. If those fish hadn't already been dead, you would have beat them to death. And if if the potatoes had feelings, she would have.
Oh, see, you heard that?
I tried to speak loud enough so Jesus wouldn't hear.
So, tell me a bit more.
Well, I finished everything, and I invited Jesus and Mary to come in. And I have flour all over me and sit down at the table.
Yeah, you should have seen her. She looked like an albino.
When we finally sat down, it hit me. Here I was, spending all my time preparing this meal for Jesus. And he didn't even care about that. I was covered in flour, and he didn't care how the house looked, and didn't care about how the food looked. I was so preoccupied with that perfect meal that I forgot about our guests. I completely missed him, so I finally sat down and just listened to him. It was like he took the weight of everything I was doing off my shoulders. I apologized for ignoring him earlier. We just chuckled and repeated what he said said to me earlier. This time, I let it sink in.
We both did, and we sat and we listened to him minister and talk to us. We just took it in and listened to Jesus talk to us.
It seemed like hours and hours, but at some time, it seemed like it was just a few seconds. I could have sat there forever. Wow. And when he left, it was all so too soon.
So, what happened after he left?
That's when Martha got her revenge.
That's right. I took off my apron and I tossed it at her. And I wasn't trying to hit her now.
Yeah, right. But you believe that she made me clean up everything afterwards. I had to clean up everything.
Actually, I think I can. So, did Martha's apron have any superpowers for you?
I don't think so. I think those aprons are for hyper people. It didn't help me any. So do you have, it didn't help me at all. But do you know how hard it is to wash fish guts out of stoneware?
I'd rather not imagine, actually. Well, I hate to say it, but we're almost out of time. Before we end, I would like for you to tell us what you learned. What will you do differently next time you have a special guest at your house?
You know, it's not bad serving people, and actually it's good to serve others. And I've learned that if there is another gathering, I will definitely offer help to Martha so she can enjoy the guests as well as I enjoy the guests.
Mother?
I'll try to remember that a big part of the service is just not spending time with the guests. What our guests really want is our fellowship. So, if everything with the house and the meal isn't perfect at the time that the guests arrive, oh well, I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to enjoy my guests. And I'll even help Mary with the cleanup afterwards.
So, what you're actually saying is that service should have a spiritual aspect to it.
Yes.
Wow, that is news.
Before we go, though, I have a gift for you.
A gift?
Yes, here you go.
Why, oh, I'm so excited.
It's a super apron. No, that's not how you don't even know how to put it on. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
My very own apron.
Have pockets too.
My super apron.
Let me tell you, this apron